glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Criticizing Vidura. And Vidura's good counsel was not taken by that why are you keeping such a son who is also blind and seeing the future is no? Why are you keeping such a son? Maintaining an ungrateful dog. Then Duryodhana became very angry. Who asked him to come here? This son of kept mistress. He is so crooked that he spies in the interest of the enemy against those on whose support he has grown up. Toss him out of the palace immediately and leave him only his breath. Right. So text number 16 says that thus, being pierced by the arrows of through his ears and afflicted to the core of his heart, Vidur placed his bow on the door and quit his brother's place. He was not sorry, for he considered the act of the external energy to be the supreme. The same ears, if they are engaged in hearing the transcendental message of Lord Shri Krishna, it changes the heart of impious lives and fixes him into pure devotional service. But such crooked words can do entire effect if one is materially attached.
Yes.
But Vidur was very exalted. So he took it. Aha! This is the opportunity.
The opportunity.
To get the hell out of here. You know?
Yeah.
He was not sorry, for he considered the acts of external energy to be the supreme. So we saw elaborately in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Shall we go again?
Yeah.
If we have missed something, then we'll take the other one. Let me read the purport. A pure devotee of the Lord is never perturbed by an awkward position created by external energy of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, 27th verse, it is stated that Prakriti Kriyamani Gunam Karmani Sarvasha Ahamkaram Vimudhatma Kartaram Iti Manyate. A conditioned soul is absorbed in material existence under the influence of different modes of external energy. Absorbed in the false ego, he thinks that he is doing everything by himself. The external energy of the Lord and the material nature is fully under the control of the Supreme Lord, and the conditioned soul is fully under the grip of the external energy. Therefore, the conditioned soul is fully under the control of the laws of Lord. But due to illusion only, he thinks himself independent in his activities. Duryodhana was acting under such an influence of external nature, by which he would be vanquished at the time ultimate end. He could not accept the sound advice of Vidura, but on the contrary, he insulted that great soul who was the well-wisher of the whole family. Vidur could understand that this is because that he was a pure devotee of the Lord. In spite of being strongly insulted by Duryodhana's word, Vidur could see that Duryodhana, under the influence of Maya, the external energy, was making progress on the path towards his own ruination. He therefore considered the act of external energy to be the supreme, yet He also saw how internal energy of the Lord helped him in that particular situation. Vidura can distinguish both the energies influencing. Uh, so, a devotee always in renounced temperament because the worldly attractions can never satisfy him. Vidura was never attracted by the royal palace of his brother. He was always ready to leave the palace and devote himself completely to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Now he got the opportunity by the grace of Duryodhana, and instead of being sorry at the strong words of insult, he thanked him from within because it gave him the chance to live alone in a holy place and fully engaged in devotional service of the Lord. The word Gatavyatha, without being sorry, is significant because Vidura was relieved from the tribulations which trouble every man entangled in the material activities. He therefore thought that there was no need to defend his brother and his vow with his vow because his brother was meant for ruination. Thus he left the palace before Duryodhana could act. Maya, the supreme energy of the Lord, acted here both internally and externally. So, text number 16. Sa nirgata kaurava panyalabdho.
Sa nirgata kaurava
Gajaha tirtha padaha padani. 17.
17. Gajayava trita pada padani.
Anvakramat punyaschikirsa yodvya.
Anyatmamat punya chikishayorvyayam.
Adhistito yani sahasramurti.
Adhistito yani sahasramurtihi.
Saha he Vidur Nirgataha, after having quit Kaurava, the Kuru dynasty, Punya, piety, Labdha, so achieved Gaja Abhyahan from Hastinapur, Tirthapadaha of the Supreme Lord, Padani, pilgrimages, Avakramat, took shelter, Punya, piety, Chikirshaya, desiring so, Urvyam, of the high grade, Adhisthitaha, situated, Yani, all those sahasra thousands, Murti forms. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. By his piety, Vidur achieved the advantages of the pious Kauravas. After leaving Hastinapur, he took shelter of many places of pilgrimages, which are the Lord's lotus feet. With a desire to gain a higher order of pious life, he traveled the holy places where thousands of transcendental forms of the Lord are situated. Haribo. I'm in the class. Are you coming? Okay, Haribo. Very good. This is very important. The Vidur is thinking, by whatever piety Kauravas had, it got him benefited. He got an opportunity to check in the hard situations of devotional platform. Okay? So, to have the high parentage would not have to possess wealth, to be highly learned and to have great personal beauty are all due to his past acts. Janma Ishwarya Shruta Srivi, Edamana Madapuman, Naivar Tama Pitatuman, Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. So, the same thing here. But such pious possessions are not sufficient for obtaining the grace of the Lord. And being engaged in his transcendental loving service, Vidur considered himself less pious. And therefore he decided to travel all the great places of pilgrimage in the world in order to achieve greater piety and advance nearer to the Lord. Are we doing this kind of pilgrimages with this mentality?
No.
Are you sure? This is the mood
Mood of
we have to develop when we go for yatras.
yeah.
Okay?
We always look for comfort.
You go like a tourist. What is the benefit? Huh?
Yeah.
Right. So, at that time, Lord Krishna was personally present in the world, and Vidur could have at once approached him directly, but he did not do so because he was not sufficiently freed from the sin. One cannot be 100% devoted to the Lord unless and until he is completely free from all effects of sin. Vidur was conscious that by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, he had lost his piety and was therefore not fit to associate at once with Lord Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 28th verse, this is confirmed in the following verse. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te tvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dradhakritaha. Persons who are sinful asuras like Kamsa and Jarasan cannot think of Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Only those who are pure devotees, those who follow the regulative principles of religious life as prescribed in the scriptures, are able to engage themselves in Karma Yoga and then Jnana Yoga, and thereafter by pure devotion can understand pure consciousness. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of pure devotees. Syanmat sevaya vipraha punyatirtha nishevanat. One who is able to associate with the Lord even during the existence of this life. Places of pilgrimage are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims, and they are distributed all over the universe just to give facility to all concerns attaining pure existence of God realization. One should not be satisfied, however, merely by visiting the places of pilgrimage and performing one's prescribed duties. He should be eager to meet the great souls who are already there, engaged in the service of the Lord. In each and every place of pilgrimage, the Lord is present in his various transcendental forms. These forms are called archamurtis, or the forms of the Lord which can be easily appreciated by the common man. The Lord is transcendental to our mundane senses. He cannot be seen with our present eyes, nor can he be heard with our present ears. To the degree that we have entered into the service of the Lord, or to the proportion to which our lives are freed from sins, we can perceive the Lord. But even though we are not free from the sins, the Lord is kind enough to allow us the facility of seeing Him in these archamurtis in the temple. The Lord is also all powerful, and therefore He is able to accept our services by presentation of His archa form. No one therefore should foolishly think that archa in the temple is to be an idol. Such an archa murtis is not an idol but the Lord Himself, and to the proportion to which one is freed from sins, is able to know the significance of the archa murti. The guidance of pure devotees is therefore always required. Many people misunderstand in ISKCON because they common man is attached to the Archamurtis in the temple. That is a very pious means to approach the Lord. But those who are advanced, then they don't see any difference between Archamurti and the actual form of the Lord. Prabhupada says that it's not a whimsical, fancy of making an idol. No, one has to concentrate on the commonly accepted form. So why do you think that he is standing on threefold bending and he never comes out of it? To concentrate on the Archa Vigraha, because Paramatma is residing even in this form, in every atom. So the pujaris have to be trained. So Archamurti was establishing a worship in the temple of the deities is not an ordinary thing. Neophytes can easily take. But when Prabhupada says, it is for the neophyte, some of the devotees, they think they are overwise. They consider those who are attached to the deity form, they are all neophytes. When somebody wants to be intimate with the deities and serve him so beautifully, they think, oh, this guy is of a high standard. Who requires here high standard? So they denigrate him and they decrease the standard of worship. They have not read anything about how Kapil Dev is talking to his mother about the Archa Vigraha. He tells straight that the pujari, he has to behave with all Vaishnava etiquette to the deity and approach the deity in very, very deep consciousness. And similarly, he has to reflect himself to outside. He can't make distinction. Then and then, he will become a pure devotee. He has been given opportunity to that. So, it's not for neophytes only. But how many are there who are engaged in puja? And how the pujaris are engaged? What is their mentality? Vancouver guys. What is their mentality? They fail there. They commit offenses to the deity. And it becomes a subject of politics. Understand? So we have to stand very firm that it's not for the neophytes. Those who have neophyte mentality, even after getting second initiation and do not engage themselves into the loving service of the deity, they will not have any iota of transcendental nature that he is supposed to concentrate himself. So, the guidance of pure devotee is always required, and understanding the Archa Vigraha. In the land of Bharatvarsha, there are many hundreds and thousands of places of pilgrimage distributed all over the country, and the traditional practice of the common men visit such holy places during all seasons of the year. Some of the representations of the Lord are situated in different places of pilgrimage are mentioned herewith. The Lord is present at Mathura, at the birthplace of Lord Krishna as Adi Keshav. The Lord is present at Puri, Orissa, at Lord Jagannath, also known as Purushottam. He is present at Allahabad, Prayag, as Bindu Madhav. And at the Mandara hill, he is present as Madhusudana. And the Anandaranya, he is known as Vasudeva. Padmanabh is and Janardhan. And Vishnu Kanchi, he is known as Vishnu. And at Mayapur, he is known as Hari. There are millions and billions of such archa forms of the Lord distributed all over the universe, All these Archamurtis are summarized in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the following words. Sarvatra prakashatandra bhakte sukha dite jagatera dharma nasi dharma sthapite. The Lord has so distributed Himself all over the universe just to give pleasure to the devotees, to give the common man facility to eradicate his sins, and to establish religious principles in the world. This is the necessity of temples. The aim of temple is not just to establish Hare Krishna, to not just establish the center for congregation only. They may start with congregation chanting, but at the same time to educate them. Prabhupada said, the temple is the heart of our activities. It is the education center to develop the insights. So, if it is only for neophyte, would Srila Prabhupada give such an importance to make temples? He made 108 temples in 11 years. From nothing. Only book distribution. And then they flourish. But the idea is that Prabhupada has a wholesale idea, otherwise how could he write such a purport which is so definite, showing the purpose of cultivating the mentality like Vidura. Otherwise, who is not insulted? Everyone is insulted. That is the material activity. And therefore, we have to be accepting every situation in favor of advancement of spiritual life. If we say, Prabhu, you are creating so much disturbance in our lives, can you please go to somewhere else? If an introvert devotee is there, then he said, oh, thank you very much. I was also stunted like you because I was not able to advance in your association.
Vice versa.
Right? I was not able to advance. But anyway, without calling shot, we have to understand, we don't spend such time uselessly at such a place, So anyway, if the situation is corrected, we have no problem to go. We have to face, it's a mere insult to those who are preachers by whatever odd reasons they may have. Oh, this preacher is being successful and being proud, and he does this way and he does that way. Let's nail him down. It's material life, Prabhu. Our aim, we have entered into spiritual practices. So, it depends upon, there are restrictions. If you do not like, then fine, you have liberty to go. But you cannot criticize. And they say, you cannot go against the will of GBC. If you go and file a case in the court against ISKON, you bet it is, you are not a member of ISKON. We will expurge you immediately. So that's a rule. If you want to improve the situation, stay with him and you can present. Be a gentleman. That's okay. So the idea that we have to cultivate is that material world is everywhere. We bring in our material activities due to sinful life. People come, they want to dump here so much sin. But who is going to cleanse it up? Tirtham kurvanti tirthani. Tirtha means a purified place, and who makes it? Tirth is also said to be the body of water where people take bath, and they also keep on purifying. The sadhus. So if you go to a tirtha and do not associate with a devotee and try to know the intricacies of devotional service, then what is the use? We are not tourists. We are not simply dumping our sinful activities. But we have to respect the purity of the place. Depends upon the sadhus. Therefore, we invite them. So, a person who is not advanced, how can he introduces this the approach to the purity within themselves if there is no encouragement? Rather, he encourages the politics and play around because of misuse of the power. So what will be the situation? Havoc. Anyway, Vidur and his mentality that he was not considering himself to be pure devotee, but he was giving good counsel to his brother because he was blind. There was some compassion, but the compassion was accepted by Dhritarashtra, even though Vidur was a Dasi Putra. Right? Dhritarashtra never insulted his brother, but Duryodhana insulted. Right? So when Duryodhana insulted, it becomes a very congenial opportunity to quit such a place. And Krishna will take care. Don't worry, like that. He was very confirmed in his resolve. Immediately, as if he was looking for opportunity and excuse how to get out from the life. For the spiritual vision or whatever the thing is that he was doubly blind. The Dhritarashtra was
Spiritually blind.
doubly blind. He did not have a spiritual vision and he did not have eyes. Neither he was what you call had a vyavasayatmika buddhi. Neither he has an intelligence to think what is of eternal. He was looking for temporary aspects only. So in this way, the Dhritarashtra was doubly blind. But nonetheless, somehow or other, by Krishna's arrangement, his secretary was Sanjay, who was a student of Vyasadeva. And he knew by the mercy of Vyasadeva, having a vision of what's happening in Kurukshetra. So, even though Krishna is impartial, samoham sarvabhuteshu, and he provides all the opportunities for everyone, but who has tesham antagatam papam jananam punya karma, whose sinful activities have been reduced to none. Antagatam papam punya karma, Te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhradavrata. Only those whose sinful activities have been eradicated by the transcendental knowledge can get opportunity to strive, learn more about spirituality, and that is the only subject he has to accept. He can't think of material management as well as spiritual applications. It is a very unsteady situation. Therefore, unless and until anartha nivrutti is there, he cannot have nishtha, unshakable faith, verified faith. So, these are the instructions given, and this purport is pretty, very expansive purport to establish our International Society for Krishna Consciousness wherever we go. If the purpose is not served, and if we go with the demand of the socialist activities of our center, then it is not going to be fruitful. So pure preaching is required.
So this here, Prabhupada has emphasized the establishment of temples.
Yes.
What is the purpose of establishing temples?
That the center for exhibiting pure devotional service. If we are not being developed, then how are we going to impart the knowledge to others, those who are coming? Therefore, the behavior of the inmates of the temple have big responsibility to exhibit such a character, such a strong, committed, approach. By performing devotional service, they teach apani acharite sikhailo bhagavad dharma. If you are only simply a superficial teacher and you don't want to teach, one has to be exemplary and teach others. So, anybody has any question or comments?
Maharaj, this approach towards the Archa Vigraha, as you explained, our approach to the Archa Vigraha, you should show the same attitude to the other devotees. How?
Even in Ayurveda.
Yeah, how we can compare with the next of instruction?
No.
Dadami parigrahanadi.
That's okay. But Archa Vigraha. Archa Vigraha is a kind of body that reciprocates with your sentient feelings.
Correct.
That is the Ayurvedic reasoning. One of the names of the body is Vigraha.
Okay.
We are not Murti Pujaks.
Yes.
They don't consider Paramatma situated even in the Murti.
Okay.
If Paramatma is everywhere, why do we have to go to the temple?
Yeah.
That's a very miserable argument. But just like how many names of the body Krishna is reiterating in Bhagavad Gita itself. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe. Deha is one. Nityasyokta sharir. Sharir is also the name of the same body. But different functions are there, and according to different functions of the body, the names are given. So there are about 13, 14 names of the same body. Varshma means one that is capable to produce like its own like. It's called Varshma. Tanuja, one which has come out from the body, is called Tanuja. So Tanu is the body. So similarly, Vigraha is also meant. Vigraha means one that is capable to reciprocate with your sentient feeling. The way you want to approach, it will be. So the Murti Pujaks are those who simply said this is a symbol. Krishna is not a symbol. And it's not a fanciful creation of the artist. It is created according to the descriptions in the Shastra. And Shastras are apaurushaya, that means it is not written by ordinary Purush, so-called false Purush. Empowered personalities are not ordinary. Srila Prabhupada's children, Vrindavan Chandra was the youngest. Only he had some faith on his father. And the same family came out from the same body. He helped ISKCON to win. Otherwise, the elder brother, Krishna Chandra, he filed court case.
Against ISKCON.
Claiming ISKCON is ours.
Yes.
As if it's a home property. None of ISKCON has been registered, and Prabhupada was not a signer even. He was very clever. But from the royalty of his books, he gave, like family, compensations. Monthly, they should receive 1,000 rupee each for their life. But ISKCON went out of the way to fulfill the desires and gave them lump sum. But still they have, in Calcutta, BBT had one flat. They are staying for one more generation. They can occupy. So Vrindavan Chandra left, or Vrindavan Chandra is still there, but his son will be taking over after he gives up the body. So ISKCON wanted that because the time changes. Srila Prabhupada, 1,000 rupees are merely less than 100 rupees today. So in our ICC, we had been doing this when I was there, until 2004. But the demand kept on increasing. He wanted to travel all over the world and let ISKCON pay like that. I said, what is the use? Anyway, so the places of pilgrimage, if others cannot go to places of pilgrimage, we create the places of pilgrimage where the people can come. But there must be pavitra, without any sinful activities. So we have to have a lot of vigil and seriousness to execute the devotional service. It's a responsibility of each and every devotee. Any other question? Yes?
In Prabhupada's pastimes, he often spoke about how in some places in India, particularly Vrindavan, the temples get shut down and the deities get shifted to another temple, and in some places you'll see many sets of deities. And Prabhupada made the comment it's because the preaching of Bhagavad Gita had stopped in those places. So I was just wondering if you could comment on the connection between presenting the message of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. You were saying preaching purely is necessary, and maintaining the proper standard of deity worship in a temple. The connection between the two.
You can't trade it. Once the deities are there, that is their eternal, residence. It's sinful to place somewhere else. Of course, there are certain situations. But in New York, you see, 328 Skimmerhorn Street Temple, we were original to put up the ISKON of Long Island, and we were trustees. Under the auspices of ISKON of Long Island, this new center in Skimmerhorn Center was taken as Bhartiya Seva, something like that, Bharti Seva. The spelling was different than Bhartiya Seva, you know. So, and eventually the prices, we purchased in 400,000. We had more than $1 million allotted for Radha Govinda, but the mistake after mistake, it mounted. When 340 West 55th Street was sold out, they had a net profit of 1.7 million. But most of the money was chewed up in unpaid bills. We had $250,000 telephone bill with RCA company. Even $60,000 was for parking violations.
Krishna.
You know. Then we were supposed to create 5 temples. I was given in Queens. They didn't have to put any money, but they didn't give me much to establish a center. That's okay. But they ended up working with some Indian Punjabi person who put as a collateral his own building and got the loan. And I'm supposed to pay off the loan.
How is that possible?
I was going good. Shivaradhi is witness. All right. But we never established the deity. How can you establish the deity in a rented place unless and until they have given a long-term lease? Prabhupada said at least 99-year lease is required. But regardless, the GBC fell down and another GBC came and he said, oh, well, I'm not happy with too many deities all around. I want to shut down your temple. I said, before you shut down, I will inquire to go somewhere else. So I ended up in New Vrindavan. We established Srinathji, in 1983. It took 4 years. But regardless, there was a big court case. All right, so many things were going on, we had to go through. Even in entering in the Manhattan Temple, the court cases were there. The first 2.
Yeah.
The devotees made a mistake to transfer from Henry Street Temple to 340 West. He left the lease on. So Italian owner says, they damaged my temple. So he set fire.
Set fire.
And he claimed damage
Yes.
on us about $50,000. At that time, $50,000 is too much. But we, like members, we come with the idea when everybody puts at least 3,000 and 17 people put collateral as their guarantee from their bank, and we got the loan. The loan giver was State Bank of India in Manhattan branch.
I see.
Yeah, he was our life member, so
Okay.
that was the idea. But this was the situation. So many mistakes, so many, just to save the temples. But even though now, this Henry Street to 340 West and 340 West to on 7th Avenue, one temple, that was also disapproved by the city. We were at least having congregation of about 400 people, and 400 was only the residents in that 340 West. We have 13 floors.
So the present
Devotees, one of the biggest temple actually.
So the Brooklyn temple was transferred from there, no?
Yeah, Henry Street. We became like member from there, and then it was transferred. But then what happened? This Skimmerholm temple came. It costed. It's a Jewish synagogue, and it only $400,000 was the price. We grabbed the opportunity. But the GBC thought, why don't you pay down payment and use the second hall as a bingo playing, and you get the rent and pay off. That was another mistake. Of course it was paid off. But the money under the GBC's control was transferred to Detroit because they owe some money there. So like that, shifting everything, the deities were deprived. All right. So now all of a sudden the Brooklyn area was coming to such a pomp. Hotels and other things are coming up, and the price increased. When the scam happens, GBC said, no, you can't sell. And they try to sell $69 million. Wow. From $400,000 property to $69 million. What do you think? And they wanted to sell off the building. We went against. We have to give our affidavits, you know. And ultimately we won to save the places. Of course, it's like a big elephant, you know, but the services continued. Otherwise, you must have seen and found in the newspaper even that they have sealed off the premises that no ISKCON devotee can come. Offenses, you know. So the purpose was money. But reprimansion was there. I was asked by one of my colleagues, he was a GBC, he said, well, yes, why don't you tell your friend Shivaradya, who is on the board, tell him to resign and give his vote to this Swami. Because they passed a resolution telling that all the GBCs must be on the board of the local board. So I said, hell with this, you are getting old, don't get into this politics. Give the vote and let him do it. I asked my colleague, why do you want to do this? He said, to protect the premises. The protector himself was trying to sell it off. So much, individual thinking, but the correction would be there at some thing that just said, yes, no more GBC, okay? Otherwise, temples cannot be protected. The Ritviks took over one of the temples in our Freeport, Long Island. We used to go and preach there every weekend, you know. So anyway, we are from New York. We know history too much. But what Prabhupada is talking here is very important. What is the aim of Srila Prabhupada to establish the temples? I started at 8:30, I'm finishing it at 9:30.
Good, Maharaj.
Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
So it depends, we are servants and we have to establish the purpose for a temple. Can't shift. So if you want to install a deity, rules are that you must promise that they will never be shifted. Like that. Then and then approval and other things are getting into. We need to have an oversight by somebody. So Prabhupada made this arrangement and we have to work out. It's not that, because I know everything, I'm an old member of ISKCON, and I know I can do this, I can do. Forget it. You alone cannot do. Therefore, congregational movement is there. All right, thank you. You tuned up your mridanga. Start beating. Invite everybody. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai. Jai. Dinabandhu Dinanath, you are the first one. Okay.
Do we have here? People, they'll be all around.
My time is expired. Alright. My time is expired.
कितने बजे था आपका?
Things change.
This time also you are going to Brooklyn Temple. This time you are going to Brooklyn Temple.
Yeah, you can go. You're not going to travel with me there.
I have already seen it.
You go alone. Go to New Vrindavan also. Which is nearer than Atlanta.
Brooklyn, my local, they want you there weekend. They want you. Brooklyn, Brooklyn, they want you one of the weekend. Brooklyn, Pragnesh कहता था, they Pragnesh.
નથી સમજ્યા તો
Brooklyn, right now
Not many people here, right?
weekend.
Oh, streaming.
I'm not spending one weekend.
No, one day.
That's it. Okay, one
Do
day.
you have any extra cables?
Sunday,
I have to see so many people whom I used to visit before. All of a sudden, for now, the last 10 years, I'm
I didn't know that there was so. I remember you telling me not to go because there was drama going on. I didn't know that they were trying to sell the temple. That's a shame. And the location is what brings
so many court cases.
so many people.
There is still one court case lingering.
So many people come because it's such a good location. Everyone in the city comes to it. It was 15 minutes from my house. Yeah, I know.
No, that time has passed. And the camera all set up for me, sir? Oh, okay, good. We're gonna snake over. It's been extra months that never. Sure, we could have a microphone. We can see. I'm not sure. Oh.
Maharaj, you want more water? Can you get more? Have you eaten anything? It's time for you to eat.
No.
You haven't eaten?
So we can do backup sing over here, mridanga over here, like that. You have this one? can go to the other side. The Ganga. This is for the big side, right? Yeah, who's playing? Who wants to play? Shakti, you want to play? Okay, so then that's fine. Who's singing? All right. Oh, you want to see it? All right. So here you go. I think he's gonna. Are you turning these on?
Yeah, he's turning.
He's gonna do it. Okay.
बस 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 हो जा
Prabhu Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.